what I want to share with you tonight is the topic, the Word and your body. First of all, what living the Word does for your body, what not living the Word does for your body, and what the Word has to say about your body. Because this is what we are dealing with primarily in the class. First of all, let's turn to Proverbs chapter 4, verse 20. You're all familiar with that. We're going to cover it. Proverbs 4, verse 20. My son, attend to my words. Incline thine ear unto my sayings. Let them not depart from thine eyes. Keep them in the midst of thine heart, for they are life unto those that find them, and health to all their flesh. It's health to your flesh. The Word is health to your flesh. I was blessed. I was listening to PFAL class a couple of weeks ago, and Dr. Werwell was talking about Matthew chapter 4, verse 4, where it says, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. You see, it's the Word that gives us life, not our food. It's the Word that gives us life. Food only sustains life. It's the Word that gives you life. And living the Word is thinking the Word and putting the Word on in your mind and acting on it. Let's consider for a few moments what happens if you're thinking negatively. What happens to your body if you're angry? I'd like for you to raise your hand and give me some of the things that happen that you know happens to your body when you get angry. Yes, Maria. Your adrenaline rises. Yes, Stacy. You tense up. Yes. Your heart beats faster. Your stomach lining gets very irritated and turns very red. What else happens? Yes. You release poisons into your system. All right, every system of your body is affected when you become angry. And you throw much more poisons and toxins into your system by negative thinking than you ever would do by the food you eat. Isn't that amazing? You throw more poisons into your system by negative thinking than by the foods that you eat. What happens if you get depressed? Again, all the systems of your body are affected. How about worry? How about fear? Discouragement? All these things have a negative effect upon your body. It affects your nervous system. It affects your circulatory system. It affects your digestion. You can't begin to properly digest your food, much less assimilate your food, when you're thinking negatively. You can think negatively and eat good foods, and you'll be in worse health than someone who eats junk foods and thinks positively, because of the tremendous effect that thinking negatively has on your body. This is why the best thing that you'll ever do for your body is to live the Word, your mental attitude. Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth. Even as thy soul prospereth is the renewed mind. As you renew your mind to God's Word and live that Word, that's what brings your health and your prosperity. All right, let's go back to chapter 4 in Proverbs and begin with verse 4. He taught me also and said unto me, let thine heart retain my words. Keep my commandments and what? Live. That's right. How are you going to live? By keeping God's commandments, not by the food that you eat. That's not what keeps you alive. It's God's Word. Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get understanding. Not only do you get the wisdom, but you do it. Now, also in God's Word, He happens to lay out some guidelines for our physical bodies and what we can do. The things that we should eat are all laid out in God's Word for us. All right, let's turn to Proverbs chapter 3. Verse 8. Well, it's talking about, let's go back to verse 1. My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee. How many of you want length of days and a long life and peace? Y'all want that? Great. So do I. I want to live. I enjoy living. You know, it's a joy to me to be alive. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck. Write them upon the table of thine heart. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord, and depart from evil. It shall be health to thy navel, and marrow to thy bones. Health to thy navel. The navel is where you were plugged into your mother, so that sustained life for you when you were in the uterus, all right? Then the marrow to your bones. You know, where is your blood formed? A lot of it. It's in the marrow of your bones. And where is the life of your flesh? In the blood. That's right. And so it shall be health to thy navel and marrow to thy bones. All right, let's turn to Psalm 139, verse 14. This one's already been covered, but it's a good one. I'd like to share it with you again. In fact, there's a whole great section in here. This is how well God knows you. We can start in verse 1. It says, O Lord, thou hast searched me and known me. You think God knows you? All right, let's just find out how well he knows you. Thou knowest my down sitting and my uprising. Thou understandest my thoughts far off. Thou compassest my path and my lying down, and art acquainted with all my ways, including what you eat. All right? For there is not a word in my tongue, but lo, O Lord, thou knowest it altogether. Thou hast beset me behind and before, and laid thine hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high. I cannot attain unto it. Whither shall I go from thy spirit? Or whither shall I flee from thy presence? If I ascended up into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me. Can you get away from God? Nope, there's no place to run away. Jonah tried it, didn't work, did it? If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light about me. Yea, the darkness hideth not from thee, but the night shineth as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to thee, for thou hast possessed my reins. Thou hast covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully or awesomely and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works. All right? God made you, right? And your body is one of his works. And what does God say about that? Marvelous. He made you, so your body is marvelous. And that my soul knoweth right well. My substance was not hid from thee when I was made in secret and curiously wrought in the lowest parts of the earth. Thine eyes did see my substance, yet being unperfect. And in thy book all my members were written, which in continuance were fashioned, when as yet was none of them. How precious also are thy thoughts unto me, O God! How great is the sum of them! If I should count them, they are more in number than the sand, and when I awake, I am still with thee. You know, when you go to sleep, you forget about God, but when you wake up, you're still with God, right? There's nothing you can do to be away from God. And God made your body, he made you, and God's word says it was marvelous. So you have a marvelous body. All right, let's turn to 1 Corinthians chapter 4. Excuse me, 2 Corinthians, chapter 4. Now, Marcia just shared this verse with you. It says, "But we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellency of the power may be of God, and not of us." Now, it says a treasure. You have a treasure. You have the greatest treasure that's ever been made available in all the history of mankind. And that's the Christ in you.